you can rent it. Anybody want to have a shotgun wedding? You can do a really cool shotgun wedding out here. We do events, corporate and charity events, as you see here. You can also rent the clubhouse. But we have sporting clays. That's what you're going to be shooting today. You're shooting 1 through 14, stations 1 through 14. But there's 19 stations total. 15 through 19 are always set to easy. So if you came back and you're just wanting to try to figure out how to shoot really good, 15 through 19 is always easy. 1 through 14, there's 3 machines on each of those stations, and we set them so that 1's easy, 2's intermediate, and 3's advanced. And then we actually put a second stand at 11 stations this year. What that means is that at a station, you can either stand in the wooden stand or one that's like a white picket fence. The white picket fence stands are harder than if you're in the wooden stand. So you guys are only shooting wooden stands today, okay? The menus are there, but they're, like I said, so you can pick how hard you want your targets to be typically. Today, you're following a menu that's going to be on the wooden stands for 100 targets per person, and it will tell you at each station if you're going to shoot like 3 pairs or 4 pairs. They should be all report pairs because they're easier than what's called true pairs. So a true pair is when 2 machines would throw at exactly the same time, and you would have to figure out which target would hit first. Report pairs are when the first, it says like 1 on report 2, so you're going to throw number 1 first, and then when the guns goes bang, the second one is thrown for you by whoever's trapping for you. So that gives you time. So you're shooting a bunch of report pairs today. You're going to follow the menus. You follow the menu, it tells you 3 or 4 pairs. That's going to get you to 100 by station 14. Now you're all starting at different stations. Some of you might start at 3 and 5, whatever. That's on your little clipboard. The other thing on your clipboard is your scorecard. X's mean you broke it. 0 means you didn't. And you'll see that it's even blacked out on the areas where you're not shooting any more targets on that station. So like station 1, you're shooting 3 pairs. So there's 6 squares, okay? The other thing on your clipboard is a card like this. Let's see, 12 teams have a countdown card. There's 4 per team, so that means there's 400 targets on that card, plus 10%. So don't just sit there and push the button like bazillions of times, because I pay for those targets, and you guys have paid for a certain number of targets. So it's like 440 on a card. That gives you enough to see the targets when you go up to a station, and that's called a show pair. So as a team, ideally, if you're competitive and you want to do a good job and you want to beat Steve, wherever Steve is, what you got to do, I'm going to teach them all how to beat you today, Steve. So as a team, you should go up to the station, and whoever's going to shoot first can be in the stand, and whoever's trapping, show everybody the targets. So if it's trap 1 and trap 2, ask everybody if they're ready, and then you push trap 1, and people watch the target. And what you want to do, and if you're at a professional competition, is you would actually put your finger out, and you would try to remember the projection line. And then, as a group, look at the next target. And do the same thing, and you can look at bushes, you can look at trees, you can do whatever you want to try to see where that target, and try to remember where the target is. And I do the mental game, so you really want to shoot intuitively. Don't try to measure, don't try to do like a 3-inch lead and all that. That'll mess you all up. You want to shoot intuitively, so your gut feeling will actually tell you where to break that target. And try to remember that also. That doesn't have to be exact. You will know when you're shooting. The knowing is when it feels right and the target looks the biggest and the clearest to you, okay? So you're going to take your turns going up there and shooting the pairs where somebody's going to pull for you and somebody's going to keep score. 440 targets on your countdown card. 2 or 3 of the cards are out there actually count up. That doesn't mean you shoot 50 trillion targets, okay? Still try to only shoot 100 targets each. You might run out of ammo anyways. Let's see, eye and ear protection, I have it over here if you don't have it. You can wear sunglasses. The foamies, don't just shove it in your ear. Smush it and twist it and then put it in your ear and hold it, and it'll expand inside of your ear. not walk around with a loaded gun. You only shoot target ammo. If any of you aren't certain what kind of ammo you have, come ask us. We'll look at it. It has to be target load because this is a circle, and I don't want you shooting anybody on the side of it. So target ammo keeps the bullet, the little pellets, from going across the course. So we will be looking at your ammo to make sure it's not hunting load. So you got eye and ear protection, the correct ammo. You do not walk around with a loaded gun. Do you all know what action open means on your shotgun? Does everybody not know what action open means? You're not going to admit it.
I'm not going to admit to it. There we go. There's a couple.
Christine, will you grab the shotgun? These are not loaded still.
Both of them?
Yeah. All right, if you have a semi-automatic, action open, it should look like this. Anytime you're walking around with a gun, it should be open right here. It doesn't matter if you know it's not loaded. You have to walk around like this in action open. And you never point the gun at anybody. You don't put your finger on the trigger, right? All the basic rules. Action open with an over-under is like this. Actions open is safe. So action open is really how you tell people that this gun is not loaded and it's safe, okay? So you have to walk around this way. The other way to walk around, if it's an over-under like this, is to hold it like this, okay? The automatic you hold straight and up over your shoulder. So when you get in the cage, that's the only time that you would point your gun out in a certain direction. You point it downfield between the wooden bars. There's like wooden stands on either side. You point the gun downfield only, and that's when you load the gun. Okay? If you have your own semi-automatic and it takes more than 2 shells, do not load more than 2 shells. That's a rule all across the whole entire planet for shotgun sports. You only load 2 shells maximum. That's because you're only shooting singles or pairs ever in sporting clays. So if you loaded 3 shells and you only shot a pair, then you're walking around with a loaded gun. So you have to, max is 2 shells in a gun. Does anybody have any questions? I just want to show you 2 things. Okay, so your clipboard and your scorecard tells you what station to go to. That's really important because if you don't look at it, you're going to ask us where to go and you're all going to be staring at each other trying to figure out where you're going. So on your clipboard with your scorecard, it says what station. The sporting clays course is right over here, to the right here. It's a loop, it's a 3/4 mile loop. Station 1 is a right turn. Station 14 is going to be if you turn left. Okay, so it's 3/4 mile. This is what you're shooting at, clay targets. There's rabbits out there, there's minis, there's standards, there's bat-twos, there's different kinds of targets. They all fly differently. The dynamic pointer, so you can beat Steve, is on there's a projection screen on the left where we draw the projections. So not only can you see them in the show here, but you can look at the projection drawing, and it will tell you if something's a midi or a rabbit, and you want to know that because see how small this clay target is? This is smaller than standard, but your brain would actually think this is a standard just further away. So by looking at the little cheat sheet, then you can know that this is a really small target. It's called midi. You're shooting shotgun shells, not bullets, and I just want to tell you a few things. You got a brochure in your goodie bag. We have done a few things here. I have a tiny house that you can now rent on Airbnb. It's right over there. It looks like a horse trailer, but the inside of it is a vintage Victorian railway car. It's super cool. Jim, you want to see it? I'll show it to you. You can rent that on Airbnb. We are running a bunch of specials for Thanksgiving, so Black Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday is 10% off memberships, free hot dogs all day, every day, and what else? $1,000 targets is discounted 2 cents per target on Saturday, and there's other things like that too. So if you're looking to get a membership, it's a good time to do that.